I love the way the First Gen Lounge makes me feel.
Because it creates a space where I belong. Where we're able to create community.
The fact that it's a community.
It's a safe place.
It also gives me a place to understand different perspectives.
The stories of these individuals prescribe transformational perspective.
I receive encouragement, enlightenment, empowerment.
And also serve as a catalyst to just keep going.
Where we're able to be our true selves.
I'm allowed to be an unapologetic first gen.
And above all else, tell our story.
And every episode is unique.
I love it.
I'm your host, Dr. Eve, and I'd like to welcome you to the First Gen Lounge. Hey, y'all. So I said that I was going to be far more present, and I'm making do on my promise. So I am here with y'all to finish out this year. I am not going to waste time getting into this show because y'all know I just want to get to it. So I have heard many people say, and I mean more than like 9 or 10, that this has been the hardest year of their life. So a moment of truth, it has been one of the absolute hardest years of my life too. Like if I could go back and name this year, I think that it'll be "And the Storms Kept Coming," because yeah, it's been like that. So as I've been like reflecting and again, thinking about this being the last episode, I just want to share 9 quick lessons that I have learned in 2018. Number 1, patience is truly a virtue. It'll be times when you feel like everything around you is falling apart, but I challenge you to stay still and hold on a little while longer. Most of the time, the things that are challenging you or causing you any kind of discomfort, those are the things that are pushing you to your limits, and you grow in ways that you may not have ever imagined. So I implore you to trust whatever is happening is good for you. Okay? Number 2, believe in something greater. While I'll always encourage any person to believe in themselves, I know that it can be hard to believe in yourself when everything is falling apart, nothing is going as expected, you are feeling just blah about yourself, confidence at 0. And then to top it off, somebody that said something to you crazy, got you looking at them sideways, and then you just like, really right now, this is not the time. But really believing in yourself is always good, but believing in something greater is greater. So believing in something greater is how you find hope in the midst of adversity, and you keep yourself together to be able to press on. Like true story. Number 3, y'all love on your family. Love on your family. Family is crazy, yet family is family, and they are irreplaceable. A lot of times people are going through things, and because they don't open up to us about it, we assume differently, and we don't think much about what they might be going through. And it's not because we don't care, but if people paint the picture that everything is all good, then what else can you believe? You just think that it's all good. So I would say, practice more empathy in 2019 and try to be a little bit more understanding and patient with your loved ones, even when they're getting on your nerves, because it's true that we don't always pick our family, but we have to do the best we can to love them. So if we're at odds with somebody for whatever reason, find a way to make peace with the circumstance at hand and love them anyway, because we all could use a little more understanding, patience, and love. Like, that's real. Number 4, make yourself a priority. And all that you're doing to serve the world and to help people, don't forget to be good to yourself. It's not selfish. Like, I know it feels like, it can be selfish. Oh, if I do anything for me, then I can't do for such and such. Well, let me ask you a question real quick. If you don't do anything for you, then what are you going to be able to do for anybody else? Because you're going to be burnt out, and you're going to be worn out, and you're going to be tired. So, we sometimes get to a point too, we try to blame other people for, I'm always doing this and I'm doing that. Ain't nobody asked you to do that, sis. Ain't nobody told you to do that, bro. Like, be gentle with yourself, because as long as you're being willing to give, people are going to take. If you're saying I'm going to pour from this cup, you better believe, I'm going to pour from this pitcher, this cup, whatever you're pouring from, people going to have they bowl or whatever else out ready to be filled. So sometimes you just got to fill your own little glass, sit down and happily sip for yourself, whatever it is that you need to. So that's taking care of your vacation. If that's, going to a spa, whatever, do what you need to do to make yourself a priority and be okay with that. Because the people who love you too will understand. Number 5, I want y'all to understand what it really means to create your best life. It's been a really big lesson for me. You have to dismiss the idea that creating your best life means creating a perfect life. Like, creating your best life doesn't mean that things are going to always go the way that you planned and that you're going to always be happy. I think that's like one of the biggest faults of today's culture when we talk about this create your best life. Like, we only want to experience this pain-free, problem-free, and uninterrupted life, but that's just not life. So rethink what it means. Understand that creating your best life is really about finding balance in all things, personally and professionally, and being able to find joy in how things are even when it's difficult. I'm gonna say it again. Creating your best life is about finding balance in all things, personally and professionally, and it's being able to find joy in how things are even when it's difficult. Which leads me to my next point. Number 6. I say this often and I will keep saying it. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful force, y'all. I have had many times this year when the highs were quickly stripped away from me and I was walking in lowness and darkness, and I had the slightest idea when I would ever see some light. Like, it was rough. I kept finding myself feeling depressed this year and frustrated by my circumstances. However, learning to be grateful in all things, I started to come off of this I just want to be happy roller coaster, and I began to find myself more emotionally stable and mentally stable. So I guess I found like a comfortable baseline to where the gratitude just helps me to see, no matter what the situation is at hand, I saw some good and I could carry that with me. So being able to be grateful has really transformed my life, and being intentional about being grateful, not just saying, oh, I'm grateful, but reflecting on all the things for which you can be grateful. Be it that you're in the middle of a storm, or that you have, just got the greatest news, to be grateful for all of it. Treat it all the same. And yes, you will be changed by that. So yeah, number 7, find strength in being vulnerable with people. Find strength in being vulnerable. You have to be honest about who you are and your intentions. Otherwise, you will find yourself in situations that you didn't even want to be in the first place. And a lot of times, being able to articulate your truth to others helps them to also navigate their truth, but know how to navigate when it comes to dealing with you. So, it's okay to not want what other people want, and it's okay to express what you want. So be vulnerable, be transparent, and do the part that you can in being able to navigate all things in your life, but in being honest, so you're not sitting up trying to kick yourself in the butt because you don't like, how your life is looking, but you not being for real with yourself or people about what you want. But then yet, if somebody else wants something and you trying to, I don't want to say that you're just compromising, but if it's okay for you to compromise and you feeling it, doing it. But if you're just not feeling it, don't do it. That's what I'm trying to say. Yup. Number 8, be okay with letting things go. We tend to hold on to things because we are familiar with what that thing is, or how it is, where it is, why it is, right? I was listening to something recently, and it said that we tend to hold on to things because we can measure what we already have. And I was like, big facts. That makes a whole lot of sense. But here's the thing. You don't know what you stand to gain. You don't know if it's going to be greater unless you make room by letting go. So if it's something or someone in your life that you need to part ways with, take that chance. You got to take that risk, because unless you take that risk, you don't open doors for anything else, and you will only be stuck in that situation that you're in. And that's just as real as it gets. And number 9, I love number 9. Number 9 is be okay with who you are, just the way you are and wherever you may be. Until you can fully come to love yourself, be confident in who you are, and know your worth, it's going to be hard for anybody else to love you, because no matter what they do, it's never going to feel like enough. You sometimes going to think the people that seriously love you, you're going to think they just talking. You'll question if you're deserving of the good that comes into your life. Sometimes you're going to have an opportunity that you're going to reject because you're not going to feel like you're adequate or deserving. And as a matter of fact, you're going to sometimes position yourself to settle for opportunities because you're not going to believe that you're worth more. And then when you do that, you're going to let others decide what you're worth And by letting other people decide your worth, it is so possible that you devalue yourself. So, hey, be you, love you, and celebrate who you are, and be okay with being an amazing person. You are amazing in your own way. You are unique, and that is something to be proud about. Like, don't think that you're not more, that you're not good enough, because you always are, and that's facts. So yeah, I told you I like to keep it to the point. And I'm gonna close this thing out by saying something that, I believe that we all need to be reminded of as we're moving into the next year. I heard somebody say that it's always the darkest before the dawn. So if this year has been one of the darkest for you, just remember that the dawn is on the horizon. It's coming. Did I say that right? Okay, if I didn't, you know what I said. You know what I meant. And if y'all haven't caught some of my conversations on social media lately, I'm going to leave you with 3 words that have been my daily reminder of the darkness doesn't last always, the reminder of the need to go on, and that is, it's simple: keep pressing forward. Whatever you do, keep pressing forward. So I have absolutely enjoyed you all this year. I'm grateful for you joining me in the First Gen Lounge, and all of our friends, all of our family. I absolutely adore you for your support, and I'm looking forward to an amazing 2019. Until then, you're awesome, and I love you, and peace.